My friends mocked my religion, until their lives fell apart. I'll never forget the night they laughed at me for praying. It wasn't the usual teasing. It was cruel. We were sitting around a campfire, the flames crackling. When I quietly stepped away to pray, when I came back, I heard one of them, Jake, imitating me in a mocking tone, bowing and saying nonsense words. The others roared with laughter. I froze, pretending not to hear, but inside, something shattered. These were my friends, the people I trusted. I wasn't the type to push my faith on anyone. I never judged their drinking, their gossip, or their jokes that crossed lines, but that night, something in their laughter told me they didn't just find my faith funny, they found me ridiculous. I grew up in a small, traditional family. My parents always said, your beliefs are your roots. When storms come, hold tight. So I did. Even when I moved to the city, surrounded by people who saw religion as outdated or uncool, I stayed grounded. But when I met Jake, Melissa, and Ryan at work, I thought I'd finally found a group that accepted me for who I was. We clicked instantly. Lunches, parties, road trips. They teased me about being too pure, but I thought it was all in good fun until that night after the campfire incident. I distanced myself a little. I'd still hang out, but I stopped sharing personal things. The jokes didn't stop, though. They just got subtler. Melissa once said during lunch, "Oh, you probably think we're all sinners," with that fake smile that hides poison. Jake joked about me talking to the sky, and Ryan said, "Pray for my paycheck next time, maybe it'll work faster." I laughed it off, but inside I was learning something painful. Not everyone deserves to know your heart. Then came what I call the season of silence. I stopped reaching out altogether. They noticed. "Of course, bro, you've gone religious mode," Jake texted once. I didn't reply. Instead, I poured my energy into work, my family, and quiet moments of faith. Life started aligning in strange, almost divine ways. I got promoted, a job I wasn't even supposed to apply for. My health improved, I found peace, and even my parents said they could see light in me. But for them, it was the opposite. It started with Ryan. He lost his job apparently. He'd been caught manipulating sales numbers. Then Melissa broke up with her long-term boyfriend after he cheated. She spiraled for months, posting cryptic "karma is real" quotes on Instagram. Jake, the loudest of the three, got into a car accident. Nothing fatal, but enough to leave a scar and months of therapy. I didn't rejoice. I'm not that kind of person, but I couldn't ignore the irony. They, who once laughed at me for kneeling to the ground, were now calling me broken, looking for something to believe in. Jake was the first to reach out. He called one evening, his voice softer than I'd ever heard it. "Hey man, I know this is random, but can I ask you something?" He paused. "When you pray, does it actually make you feel better?" I smiled, not out of pride, but from the strange twist of fate. "It's not magic," I said. "It's peace even when things go wrong. I know I'm not alone." We talked for over an hour. He didn't mock once, just listened. A few weeks later, he texted me a photo of him lighting a candle at a quiet place, saying, "Tried your peace thing, kinda feels good." Melissa reached out next. She admitted she'd been reading about spirituality lately and wanted to understand what makes people like you so calm. I didn't lecture. I just said, "Start small. Gratitude changes everything." Ryan took the longest, but one night, out of nowhere, he showed up at my door, eyes red, holding a takeout bag. "Dinner," he said, "and maybe some forgiveness?" We ate, laughed awkwardly, and he finally said, "I used to think faith was weakness, but honestly, after losing everything, I wish I had something like yours." That hit me deep, not out of revenge, but realization. Sometimes people mock what they don't understand because deep down they wish they had the same strength. Now, years later, we're still friends, but different. They don't mock anymore. In fact, they often ask for advice, especially when life gets heavy. I never said, "I told you so." I didn't have to. Life did that for me, and every time they come to me now, with questions, doubts, or pain, I remember that night by the campfire, the laughter, the sting, and I smile, not in bitterness, but gratitude, because that was the night I learned one of life's quietest truths. Faith doesn't need to prove itself. Eventually, everyone kneels, some in prayer, some in regret.